One thing about me is that when it comes to making decisions, I tend to go all in. The second I was unsure about pursuing a graduate degree, I dropped out of university. I thought, oh, maybe becoming a makeup artist might just be my dream job. Well, then I registered for a certification program and immediately started planting the seeds for building a business. I am truly the girl that will plan and make those big moves. No, I don't really consider myself a traditional risk taker. I like to think of this more as a smart bet, if you will. So, what was the big decision for 2026? And yes, we have reached the end of January, but we were still making big decisions. And for me, that was saying goodbye to my old beauty studio and taking a leap towards the new direction for my business. Clearly, I'm getting carried away because I haven't even introduced myself. But I know that since you already found this video, you're probably a business focused girly just like me who's making the moves to build her dream life. Maybe you're a makeup artist or another beauty professional like me, but I don't really necessarily think you have to be part of the beauty industry to get something out of this video. Let's keep these introductions quick. I'm Shauna, a pro makeup artist that has been working for the last 6 years. I originally had a 9 to 5, but I have since moved on and built not one but two beauty businesses that focus primarily on hairstyling and makeup artistry. And welcome to my corner of the internet where I just want to sit and chat with the girls, whether it's sharing beauty tips and pro secrets or diving into business so that we can achieve everything that is on our vision boards. Now that we're acquainted and I already know we're going to be the best of friends, let's get back to what I meant by a smart bet. In November of 2025, I started crunching the numbers and looking at the logistics to figure out whether or not a traditional beauty studio was needed for my business to grow and flourish. And well, the numbers told me that it was time to go. I realized that I was just spending a lot of money on a space that I was never using. So, just as I did 3 years ago when I decided to quit my 9 to 5 to pursue makeup artistry full time, I decided to start calculating how much risk I was comfortable with. For this to work, you need to have a specific goal in mind that you consider to be a massive decision or risk. So, for example, this could be choosing to move abroad. This could be dropping out of school to pursue a more creative career path. Anything that falls into line that feels like a massive anxiety inducing risk. And from there, we're going to take that really scary big decision and make it calculated. And I am talking a Taylor Swift mastermind level of calculation. From the outside, people are going to think that you have made massive leaps, but behind the scenes, you have been planning and laying the groundwork. A smart bet is taking something extremely risky and looking at the logistical side to find all of the steps. Looking at where you are now and where you want to be, let's say a year from now or 5 years from now. So, for me, when I knew that I wanted to become a makeup artist, there were some key steps that I needed to do. So, step one for me was definitely certification. That's just because I'm a huge book nerd and do love being in a classroom. Yes, I did get certified, but that really doesn't mean that I had any sort of clientele or income as a makeup artist. So, step two is definitely finding a job that would provide me with financial security. It was really important too because I needed something that would help me build that nest egg in my savings so that I could make the financial risk. And the last step for me was the one that was the most open ended, and that was building a clientele. And ultimately, I did keep that job for a little less than 8 months, using that time to build up my savings, all while looking for the right space or opportunity that would allow me to get to my goal, which was to become a full time beauty professional. And that's where the scary decision all of a sudden becomes a calculated risk or a smart bet. I don't consider myself to be a risk taker because I have planned out every step of the way, including all of the possible scenarios of how I fail. I don't know if it's just because of my anxiety, but I find a huge amount of comfort by seeing all of the possible scenarios of how something can go wrong so that I know how to prepare for it. When choosing to make a smart bet, you also have to make sure that you're in the right headspace because you have to do a lot of internal work if you're going to be comfortable with the concept of failure and the perception of what it means to be a failure. Let's face it, in order to be good at business, you have to get comfortable with falling flat on your face and not caring what anybody else has to say about it. As calculated risk takers, we acknowledge all the things that could go wrong, but we're doing that in order to prove all of the ways that it can go right, not to talk ourselves out of making those decisions. So let's review all the steps of how we're going to make this work for you. One, you're going to define your big risk. Two, you're going to research everything that you need to know about achieving that big risk. Three is starting the planning process. We are figuring out every small step that it is going to take to get you from where you are now to get you to where you want to be. And four is probably the simplest one. You're going to just start doing the work. You're going to start taking off every step and you're going to get closer and closer to being ready to make that big decision. I love when people refer to me as gutsy for following my dreams, when in reality, it's all been plans in the making. I've been manifesting, creating vision boards, and doing the work to make those dreams a reality. My word for 2026 is liftoff, and that is because it is marking change and growth in ways that I didn't think were even possible. If you've been watching this far, I want you to comment the little rocket ship emoji down below. And I cannot wait to continue this journey with you and see what we achieve in 2026.